Howdy, welcome back to the channel. This is Unitedverse, everybody. I am your host, Sean, and this is a scouting report special. Sorry, I nearly said Man United News Roundup there. No, scouting report special. And if you've been part of the channel for a while, and you know what to expect. If you're new to the channel, basically scouting report specials, I take an in-depth look at a handful of rising stars, hidden gems, and future ballers. You guys can go ahead and add them to your list. Whether you got the notebook, whether you play football manager, whatever you want to do, add these guys to your list because I do think that everyone will be talking about them sometime soon. I'm not too humble to admit and to say that some of these players that we've scouted on the channel are going on to do some great things. If you guys have been watching the World Cup, obviously it's Czechia versus South Africa right now. First half just ended. Watching that, but Chalupek playing defense for them. Krejci, who I've scouted in the past as well. Baturina the other day for Croatia scored a beautiful goal. Urenki last night, Caleb Urenki with Ghana scored the late stoppage time winner for them. We scouted him early in the season. We scouted Urenki. So if you want to look smart in front of your friends, if you want to look bougie and whatever, like a know-it-all, just go ahead and follow along, you guys. But most importantly, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too if you guys are new. We are going to get stuck in, you guys. I'm going to hit you with the intro, and I'll see you back here in a hot second. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Who's in the chat? Let me get a second to see who's in the chat right now. Big up Ian. Ian's in the house. You guys know who Ian is by now. He's becoming a little bit of a regular on the channel alongside Dylan and myself. Then we had Ian on yesterday to chat about some of the latest and greatest news. Dylan wanted to join us. Dylan was in the middle of driving across the state of Michigan, so he wasn't able to, unless we wanted to be super dangerous. Ian is looking forward to the scout report. Very busy day at my house. Yeah, Ian had everybody over there. Big up Urenki. Yeah, absolutely, boss. So we're going to chat a little bit today, you guys. So I'm going to get stuck in. It is a new look scouting report. As you've seen on the channel the last couple of weeks, we've got kind of a facelift in a lot of different areas. I change things up pretty much every year just to kind of keep things fresh and going. I know it can be a little confusing when you're used to a certain thumbnail and then you're looking on YouTube and you maybe just move right past one of the new ones, but that's all right. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and then you don't have to worry about it. But we're going to get stuck in. So here's a question I want to ask for the first one, though. Who's ready for the next Casemiro? I am, of course, talking about Gremio midfielder Lionel Perez. He is having an absolutely Boston season. He's really just kind of starting to come into his own, Lionel Perez. But solid defensive midfielder for Perez. Plays obviously for Gremio, right-footed as well, just 21 years old, good height, a lot of good qualities. He's just a straight-up ball-winning six, really good in 1v1 situations, you know, maybe defending on that back foot, but he's also so good at reading the game, which is where you're going to see things like the interception, the positioning as well to cut out play and everything. He can read the game so well with good footballing IQ, good vision. And he's got an excellent mentality. He's very motivated, very driven, very hard worker as well. I really like this kid a lot. He's a product of Huracan's academy, and he forced his way into that first team by being a standout during the 2025 season. And that's a big part of preseason as well, is just taking those opportunities as they come and really giving the manager, the coaches, something to think about. It's what I like to see during preseason is these youngsters getting a chance, maybe giving the coaches something to think about. But back then, he showed a lot of motivation, good mentality, good drive to not only fight for that place in the first team, but keep it as well. And Perez wasted little time showing that he deserved it, scoring a massive header against Racing Club de Montevideo in a Copa Sudamericana match just a few months after that. In fact, so consistent were Perez's performance that by that September of that year, he had earned a contract renewal to 2028. And he was at the time considered one of the most promising defensive midfielders in Argentine football. Gremio came calling in February of this year, and he made the switch in sort of an odd transfer. You see this a lot with South American fairs because there's a lot of economic rights involved in the transfer. It's so weird, but Gremio was a bit of a step up for a young player, so he is still being phased in there at the moment. But like I said, he is a straight-up destroyer-type midfielder. He's going to sit in front of that back line. He's going to And he's not a deep line playmaker. He's not a box to box. He can find teammates in advanced positions with a ball on counterattacks. Again, that's why I say he reminds me a lot of Casemiro. But he is a shield, basically. His game is built around defensive duels, tackling, interceptions, disrupting opposition build-up play through, again, his disciplined positioning and his physicality. His reading of the game is what gives him that great positioning. His anticipation is stellar. He's 8th in the league for interceptions per 90. But he's also disciplined enough to not abandon his position to go and try to chase the game. He just does his job and does it well. 6'1", he's very strong in the air, offers a genuine presence in both boxes as well, which is also where he scored his lone goal. He got a header from a box recently. You can see here a lot of dribbles, a lot of greens, a lot of good dribbles. Wins a lot of duels. He is like elite when it comes to winning the ball in the air. Again, that's where that touches in the opposition box. Good positioning. Again, like I said, Casemiro regen right here if you weren't Argentinian. But again, the defensive contributions, the tackles, the interceptions, all of that is absolutely stellar for such a young player who's getting phased in. He's right-footed, like I said, tidy with the distribution, but again, he's not a playmaker, more of a ball recycler than just a progressor at this stage of his career. He will be best in a double pivot or like a split midfield system, like if you're playing a 4-3-3 as the deeper midfielder, or if a 4-2-3-1, he'd be better in a system like that maybe plays a little bit of a low block where he can just be the one who defends and protects, and he's got someone next to him who's a little more of a ball progressor and a ball player. And this is how Gremio use him as well. They pair him with passers of the ball like Nardoni or Villasante, who just do that job for him. His job is to win that ball, find a teammate with it. Not a whole lot of transfer talk. Like I said, he just moved this past year, and they still have the option remaining for 50% of his economic rights, which is just weird to me how some of those contracts work, but it is what it is. Ian's a fan, says, yes, please, Cast 2.0. Yeah, he's basically a Casemiro regen, aside from the whole Argentina thing. Sanjay, big up, Sanjay. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Ian's a big fan of the new scouting report. Look, I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. I just told ChatGPT, this is what I'm looking for. Go ahead and make it. And that's what they did. So we're just going with it. But I do like it. It is a little bit more crisp and clean. Not a whole lot of like the old ones I like, but there's just a lot of different colors and different stuff going on. This is pretty just easy to follow. So big up, Danny. Welcome, man. Good to see you again. Yeah, he is very similar to Varela. Varela's kind of Varela in the last couple of years reminds me a lot of like Declan Rice, where like at West Ham, Declan Rice was more of that deeper role, but since moving to Arsenal, Rice is more of almost like a box to box. Varela's done a little bit more box to box recent, but you guys know I like Varela. I featured in my Casemiro replacement video a while back. Very, very good. Rob, always United, big up. I am always Sean, but big up, Rob. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. We are just getting stuck into this. Rob, always United, he is celebrating 11 months of membership. So he gets one of these. Guys, yes, membership is the best way to get involved in the content. Starting 11 and Legends members can actually make suggestions for scouting reports. So if you make a suggestion, I pick your player. You get a little shout out, you get a nice little member icon down there, member pick icon, and it's nice. It's more than just the badges and the emojis on the channel. I try to get you guys involved as much as I can. We also have a WhatsApp group for Starting 11 and Legends members as well. And Legends members do get early access to exclusive videos like the Mateus Fernandez video I just put out last week, or the Mamadou Sangare video, or Adam Wharton, or any of those videos. Legends members get early access ahead of everyone else. Just my way of kind of thanking you guys for supporting the channel in that regard. Big up, Rob Taft's in the house. Rob Taft, dude, yeah, if you guys are involved in the World Cup Fantasy League, man, I finally got some points on the board last night. And Mbappe and Harry Kane helped me out. And then Urenki coming through clutch with that late winner. I do have Urenki in my fantasy team, by the way, so there was always that. You guys know I got to represent my scouting reports sometimes. I also have Shai Lupek in my fantasy team because he scores a lot of headers for a center back. So keep that in mind. Just getting caught up on the chat. All right, we are caught up. Let's move on to my next pick, you guys. Let's go from defender-ish to attack, and let's take a look at a young man named Gabriel Vidovic. Plays for Dinamo Zagreb, obviously. represents Croatia. He is a left winger, a right-footed left winger, which, inverted wingers, we know what to expect from those. 22 years old, like I said, Croatian. He's German born, but he represents Croatia. So I put the international team he represents down there because that's pretty much what matters in football. He joined Bayern Munich's academy when he was just 12 years old, Vidovic. Progressed through every level of that age group in that youth setup. He actually had 21 goals in 30 matches for Bayern's second team, and eventually earned a call-up from Julian Nagelsmann way back in 2022, coming on as a sub for Serge Gnabry. Bayern's first team, though, is quite difficult to break into. They might have a few good players there, right? So he did spend some time on loan, Vidovic, Vitesse, Dinamo Zagreb, and then Mainz as well. And then when Matthias Tell moved to Spurs, Vidovic was actually recalled to Bayern, but he ultimately opted to go someplace where his development will be better served. So he wanted to go back to Dinamo Zagreb as well, for pennies on the dollar as well. But I think Dinamo got a bargain. He's got 7 goals, 4 assists this season. He was a regular for them in the Europa League as well. See, he's a good dribbler, has good passing range. His finishing is top notch. He presses high up the pitch as well. He's up there like well above average for possession one in the final third. His crossing is good. Carries that ball into the box as well. He's very much like Ahmad in that regard. 3 times team of the week as well. He is 10th for goals per 90. He is 9th for possession one in the final third, Vidovic. Very, very good young player. You can see he kind of hugs that left-hand touch line. Cut inside, get a lot of touches just outside the box in that final third, which I really, really like as well. He is a right-footed inverted winger who plays off that left flank. He wants to cut inside onto his stronger foot. His standout quality, though, is definitely his dribbling, his close control, his quick changes of direction. And that's what allows him to beat those defenders in tight areas. He's accredited studying Messi and Neymar growing up, and those are kind of his influences on the for attack. He offers like genuine passing range and vision in those central pockets. You could see well above average when it comes to chance creation, the goals, the shot attempts, the touches. He just wants to be on the ball and make things happen. But he's very comfortable dropping into those central areas and combining as well, rather than just kind of putting crosses in the box. He's very much a modern winger in that regard. What has changed most developmentally wise this season is Vidovic's finishing. After years as more of a creator and carrier, he has added a far more consistent individual goal threat to his repertoire. And also, don't sleep on the value of learning in a couple different leagues. Like he learned in the Eredivisie with Vitesse, the Bundesliga, the Croatian League, and he did all that early in his career as well. So he got a really well-rounded education from multiple leagues who value technicality over just pace and power. He's best, I think, in a possession-oriented team that wants its wide players to dribble inside, combine in the pockets, rather than just stretch the pitch and cross the ball. So basically, he would thrive in a modern football team, basically anywhere. But he's also well-suited to a team that wants to play in transition, that trusts him when he's isolated in 1v1s on the ball, because he does have a really good ability to beat defenders 1v1. No transfer rumors as of yet, but he has had a strong season, especially in the Europa League. It is reportedly turning some heads, but nothing really major yet. But I do like this guy a lot. He's a really good winger, one to keep an eye on as well. Danny doesn't know this lad. It's always a personal point of pride for me when I can find a player that Danny's not quite familiar with. Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys are having a fantasy chat. Keep chatting fantasy. You're all good, man. But yeah, Gabriel Vidovic, Dinamo Zagreb. Keep an eye out for him as well. So we've spoken a lot this season about a certain midfielder that plays for RC Lens. If you guys aren't quite familiar with Mamadou Sangare, go check out my video if you want to know why everyone's talking about him all of a sudden. And then you can also learn why I've been talking about him since last spring when he was at Rapid Vienna. But that's besides the point. Not going to toot my own horn any more than I already have. But there's another young midfielder at RC Lens that I think people are going to start paying attention to, especially if Mamadou Sangare makes an exit this summer. And I'm talking about Andrija Bulatovic, he's young, plays for RC Lens. He's not a regular starter because he's young still, just 19 years old, but he is center midfielder, right-footed, plays for Lens, 5'11". He's actually Montenegrin, so this might be the first player from Montenegro that I've scouted on the channel, if I remember. Although, Pardo Montenegro? I can't remember now if Pardo is Montenegro. He might be, I can't remember. Someone will correct me, but He's a good young midfielder. Good positioning, good passing range. He's very composed on the ball. He's versatile. He can play a couple different roles in midfield. Dictates tempo very, very, very well. I've seen him compared to like a young Sergio Busquets in that regard. And his set piece delivery is top notch. Andrea, he had a quick start to his career, this kid. He signed his first pro contract at 16, and in just his second professional game, scored a goal. This earned him a step up from his local club to the Montenegrin top flight and to the team called Rudar Pavelja and back in 23-24. That season, he made over 30 appearances, scored 5 goals, and picked up his first continental minutes playing in the Conference League as well. But he's also been a regular for Montenegro's youth sides, even the under 21s, and he's still just 19. His performances caught the eye of Montenegro's most decorated club, the Bucnaknost Podgorica Gesundheit. Sorry if I absolutely butchered that. But they signed him in 2024. And this is where his big move up to RC Lens entered the picture, because they signed him for roughly just 2 million euros, a little more than a year and a half ago, February 2025. Dinamo Zagreb was actually interested in him, but Lens picked him up. He was loaned back to the Montenegrin side for the remainder of that season, where he racked up a further 5 goals, 6 assists before his move to Lens was made permanent that summer. He's doing a really good job. I like how he adapted. I like how he's kept going up and up. Coming from a much lesser league, too, he was integrated steadily into Lens, right? Just 22 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists as well, but he did earn himself a contract extension to 2030 recently too. You could see kind of sits where you're going to see most midfielders sit now, kind of inside his own half and just inside the opposition half, and that's where the playmakers pretty much operate. Guys like Wharton and whatnot do the same thing. Takes the corners as well. His 3.9 tackles per 90 are very, very good. Skewed, yes, but they are among the best in league at the moment. He's been described basically by his own club as a, quote, midfield metronome. Again, like a Sergio Busquets. Calm, secure passer whose game is built on distribution and tempo control rather than, dribbling directly at people, getting up and down the pitch. It's just calm on the ball, making things happen. He's a deep-lying center midfielder. He lets his passing do the heavy lifting rather than just running everywhere box to box to get involved in everything. He just knows his job, knows his role. He's trusted with the set-piece delivery, like I said, despite being just 19. Decision-making, positioning are regularly praised as being well beyond his years, right, for a 19-year-old. He can play a couple different positions in midfield, like I said. He can even drop deep to kind of provide defensive cover if needed as well. He created the most chances against Lyon this year when RC Lens played them. He also got an assist in that match. I think this guy's going to be better in a possession-based team that's built around a double pivot where its deepest midfielder maybe is going to control the tempo and distribute, and you've got another one who's maybe going to do a lot of the heavy lifting physically wise. He works very well next to Mamadou Sangare at Lens, if that gives you any idea. So he did sign the extension recently, like I said. Lens have basically said that they see him as one of their building blocks for their future, so I doubt you're going to be getting him out of there anytime soon. He wouldn't cost a lot, but I haven't seen anything. Lens are pretty staunchly kind of holding on to him, especially with Sangare rumored to be leaving at some point. But very, very good, versatile young midfielder. I'm a really big fan of this kid. What are you guys saying in here? Ian says, do you know about Jan Bisek? Yeah, we scouted him. We scouted him before he went to Inter. This was a long time ago, Ian. This would have been probably even before this past season. We scouted him. Like I said, before. I think if I remember correctly, he was either at like Genk or Club Brugge. I don't remember now off the top of my head. It was so long ago, and he's moved since. But Lutovic is very, really tidy, Danny. Really good midfielder. You guys can keep us updated on how this Czech South Africa game is going if you want to. Have you seen some transfer rumors? All right, big up. Yeah, I haven't seen. I looked around. I couldn't find anything credible, so I just went with it. But if Brighton has their eyes on him, so he'll go for 100 million in a couple of years. But I don't know. I wonder who Brighton would be replacing. I mean, he'd come in because Ayari's young and he's coming through. They've still got Baleba. He's in there as well. He's probably a little bit more of a playmaker than Baleba is. So interesting stuff. But we move. So keep on trucking. Let's talk about another young man playing out in the old South Americans, and we're going to be talking, no, not South American, he's South American, playing in France, but his name is Santiago Hidalgo. He plays for Toulouse in France. He's a right wing slash 10. He kind of can play both positions pretty well. Similar like what you see from Guler, like Mastantuono, those kind of positions. He's left footed, 21 years old, Argentinian, but just a little bit of a live wire. Good movement, good passing, comfortable on the ball. Versatile, like I said, can play a couple different positions behind striker, create some chances, and he's got a big game mentality, which we're going to talk about here in a second. He joined the academy of Independiente at 11 years old, and he rose so quickly that in September 2022, The Guardian actually named him as one of the best players born in 2005 worldwide. So high praise that. He wanted a little bit of a better path to getting regular football, so he moved to Toulouse this past July for a fee. I think it was around, I want to say like £2 million, if I remember. More like 2.5 million euros since it's French. Independiente does have a sell-on clause in there as well. He signed a 4-year deal. He took the 11 shirt previously worn by club legend Beto. Again, what I mean by mentality, just had no problem taking that on. In his first season in Ligue 1, Hidalgo has had a bit of a steady breakthrough. He's not an automatic starter, but he's become increasingly influential for them. He got a brace when they thrashed Ineos-owned Nice 5-1 in January. And he scored a stoppage time equalizer against Marseille as well. It's what I mean by big game mentality. Stepped up further when first choice forward Emerson was suspended or away at AFCON for a bit. And then by season's end, he's had 4 goals, 3 assists in Liga. He tied the lead, their team, for the assist as well. He's got tied for the most assists at Toulouse. You can see, again, playing on that right wing, but definitely comfortable cutting inside and getting involved in the middle of the pitch. He can play as a 10, as a second striker, drifting to that right wing as well. He's left-footed, so he wants to cut inside onto that left foot from the right-hand side. He's got good range of finishing as well. He's got goals from inside the box. Poachers finishes as well. He's got some efforts from outside the box too. He's going to combine well when he's got a more physically dominant central striker, maybe a little bit like Mateusz Mane in that regard. Often links up with Emerson really well. And towards the end of the season, when he started getting more minutes, you definitely saw his numbers, chance creation start to improve as well. Again, 4 goals, 3 assists in his debut season when he's not a regular starter is not bad for a young player. Again, he's got composure in big games as well. Oops, wrong one. I forgot to put the stats. I don't think he had enough stats. That's why. Again, those goals against Nice and Marseille as well. He's going to be best in a front line setup that allows fluid rotation between that second striker and the right side of attack. So when he's able to kind of drift in and out, I think that's what his best team is going to do. Again, a team that builds its chances through quick combinations in wide areas, good movement in and around the box, I think is going to get the best out of him. He's not a target man. He's not a guy who's going to whip in across, but someone that's going to have a little bit more fluidity. Like the way Arsenal play, I think would be a good fit for him if they're looking for someone like that. Yeah, I figured Danny would probably know this guy. He's doing pretty well. I kept an eye on him to see how he would do in his first season. He's done pretty well. Minutes still limited, but again, debut season, so who knows? But yeah, Santiago Hidalgo is just a fun name to say, and it's a fun player to watch. So add him to the list. If you're watching Charlie Cresswell over at Toulouse as well, just add him to the list. We did a scouting report on Cresswell. If you've been watching long enough, you guys, this far, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. We are on the road to 4K. We'd love to get there before the season starts. We're not that far away. We're only like 100 away. And so I think with you guys' help, we can get there. You guys are absolute legends. So we're going to keep going. We got one more to go, you guys. So we've had some fun names in here. We have Lionel Perez. We've had Gabriel Vidovic. We have Andrija Bulatovic. And then we've got Santiago Hidalgo. And then we've got Tim Meyer. I don't know if you guys watch Key and Peele. They do the East-West College Bowl. And they have all these fun football players give all these crazy names, and at the end there's like this random white dude with like his name's like Dan Smith. That's what this reminds me of. All these fun names. And then Tim Meyer. Plays for Grasshopper Club in the Swiss League. He is Swiss, so it makes sense. A right-footed defensive midfielder, 21 years old, good height, 6 foot. He's a good, solid player. Just a simple, like, no-nonsense, straight-up 6, man. He's mature, his defending is solid, good composure on the ball. He works hard, reads the game well to position. Again, that comes from a really good footballing IQ. He is a pure academy product of Grasshopper Club, having worn the shirt since he was the under-13s. He's had a couple of brief spells at smaller clubs along the way, but he made his Super League debut in August 2023 at just 19 years old, impressing enough in preseason and in his first few appearances, including a cup match too, to earn an immediate contract extension with the club. He had a metatarsal injury that saw him miss a couple months, similar to like what we saw with Lenny Euro and whatnot. But he's been fine since. Signed another extension last season. He earned a regular spot in the starting 11 for Grasshopper Club as well. And this was around the same time that the CIES Football Observatory ranked him 27th among the world's best under-23 midfielders, especially in the, quote, ground defense category. Again, further validation of his solid 1v1 defensive game. Last summer, he extended his contract again to 2028, but he is a straight-up defensively oriented central defensive midfielder in all you get. His game is built almost entirely around positioning, anticipation, covering a lot of ground, again, rather than picking a pass and threading the needle or getting on the end of something in the box. He prefers to do the dirty work, closing the gaps, anticipating where the danger is going to rise up, and then intervening. He's got really good defensive output. His tackles, his interceptions, his block shots are all well above his peers in that position as well. Defensive contributions are currently in the 94th percentile among midfielders. Again, you're not going to see a whole lot of ball progression, a whole lot of dribbles. He's purely a defensive-minded, again. 99th percentile for defensive contributions pretty much tells you everything you need to know. He doesn't mind getting in advanced roles to win the ball back. You can see possession one in the final third well above average as well. But again, overall defensive contributions just straight up where you needed him to be as well. I like the clearances too. That shows he's going to drop deep and be a bit of a help defending set pieces as well. But again, the defensive and positional intelligence are his standout traits, Meyer. Fourth most tackles in the league. He's not far outside the top 10 for interceptions per 90. His work rate, his stamina. He's got a background in cross country as well. So again, cross country is all about stamina, is all about running. And that's what you need at the top level. How many times have we seen our players get gassed? He would be like Amarim's dream defensive midfield signing. He could just cover ground tirelessly for 90 minutes. The guy's got like 5 lungs. He's mature. He's got a team-first mentality. He's been repeatedly praised by the Grasshopper Club staff for his composed, disciplinary defensive mindset, his selfless, unflashy approach to the game as well. He's already a senior regular at a young age. He's a first-team fixture in competitive European top flight at 21, but he also represents Switzerland at the under-21 level as well. But I like him. He can drop deep to defend as well if you need him to. He can get a little bit more advanced if you need him to. But again, I think a pure 6 is his natural, most comfortable role. If he can improve his ability on the ball a little bit, he has a chance, I think, of really becoming a class midfielder, Tim Meyer. But right now, I'm not too worried about it. Let him focus on that. I'd like to see how he does maybe with a step up to another league. But he's going to be best suited to counterattacking, transition-based team that maybe defends on the back foot a little bit, maybe who needs a tireless ball winner to break up opposition attacks and provide cover for the more creative players in midfield. You know, he works best alongside a more progressive ball-playing midfielder who will take on the progression responsibilities. And that's fine with me. I don't need anything more than that at such a young age. It's when you start getting a little older that you're going to run into teams who need a little bit more from their midfielders. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Ian's taking off. Big up, Ian. Good to see you again, man. Yeah, he's a ball winner, man. He's a straight-up ball winner, which I don't have a problem with. I have nothing but time for these guys, especially at a young age. You've got your whole career to maybe work that out and maybe do something a little better, but you never know. But Tim Meyer, look him up, you guys. Andrea Bulatovic, look him up as well. Lionel Perez, Santiago Hidalgo, and, of course, Gabriel Vidovic. All great players. You guys know I will put timestamps in the comments section once I'm done here, so you guys can jump right to one if you want to go look them up again and hear a little bit more. But I encourage you guys to go look them up. Go check them out if you have the means. Maybe give them a watch as well. I don't think any of them are at the World Cup right now. A couple of them are pretty young, but maybe in a year or so, maybe you'll see them playing in CONMEBOL, maybe at the next World Cup, maybe at the Euros. You never know, but let me know what you think, you guys. If you've heard of any of these guys before, let me know. I know Danny's heard of Hidalgo when he was at Independiente as well. Danny's a big South American scout, so if you guys ever have any questions about South American players who are young, ask Danny. But until next time, you guys, that's been the Scouting Report special as well. Not a whole lot of news, so we obviously, when the news pops back up with United, we will do another news roundup and whatnot as well. But go vote again in the polls, and leave your picks for some of the goals of the season and match of the season and all that stuff over in the comments, the post section, the community section. We're going to be trying to do our award show at some point. Obviously, the World Cup kind of put a spanner in the works this week because a lot of us wanted to go watch England-Croatia last night, which was an interesting game. We'll talk more about those games in the next news roundup as well. But and if you're playing the fantasy league, good luck to you. I mean, I finally got some points on the board, so I'm not bottom of the list anymore. Literally, like 8 or 9 of my players had not even kicked the ball yet until yesterday, so it was a nice little boost. I needed Bruno to do a little bit more because they killed me yesterday, but it's all good. But guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you weren't able to catch the live, leave a comment. Not a problem. But most importantly, make sure, as always, to like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hype a couple of these videos on the phone if you get a second. And share them if you want to. If you know some people who are into scouting reports, go ahead and share them as well. I'm not trying to be famous like Brazil Scout or anything like that, but I do enjoy the scouting reports, and it's nice to get feedback. And don't forget, members, starting 11 and Legends members, you can have a say in the scouting reports as well. Leave them in the comments, though, because if you put them in the live chat, I'm not going to go back and dig them out. Leave them in the comments, though. I'll get a notification, and it's right there for me to see. So, until next time, guys, thank you again for stopping by. You guys are legends, and I will see you guys on the next one.